Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Radiate Wellness. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I'm so excited because I'm in the studio with Mary Beth. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited you're here too. So you are the founder and CEO of Radiate Wellness Products. This gorgeous rainbow that you were explaining was chakra colors.
Yes. So
Tell me everything. I mean, we have so much to talk about.
So yeah, I made them in the chakra colors, just aligning with what the products do for you. And our purple is actually for women in menopause, and I feel like they should be the queen top chakra.
Royalty.
Like they are royalty in my eyes, for sure.
So you have a lot of different products that pretty much help aid people as they're aging. This is something that I feel like is not talked about enough, especially with women. So tell me why you created these products in the first place.
So when I turned 38, perimenopause hit me like a ton of bricks. I had never even heard of the word, and I thought I was completely losing my mind. And at first I just chalked it off as stress because I owned a business, but I wasn't sleeping, I was gaining weight, I was having brain fog. I sat in silence for 6 months and kept saying, oh, it's stress, it's stress, it's stress. And then I commented to a friend and she's like, oh girl, you're in perimenopause. I told you this is gonna happen. You need to go to this doctor. And I'm like, what? No, like how am I 38 and in menopause? And she's like, no, it's perimenopause.
It's before.
It's before. And it just led me on this complete journey. Within 3 weeks, I was completely back to myself. I lost the I lost the 8 pounds from natural progesterone cream. I was sleeping again, and I was like, why do women not know about this? Like, why are we not talking about this? And so they're transdermal creams. Your skin is your largest organ. So when you're absorbing it through your skin, it's going straight into your bloodstream, not going through your GI or liver. So you get even and maximum absorption.
Oh, cool.
Yes. 6 years in, it has been amazing because then I took it to a different level, realizing like, yes, these supplements do so much for you, but it's also about mind, body, soul. So we have courses and we have retreats, menopause retreats, and we have community and education. So just made it all encompassing because I think that's so important.
You said a little bit earlier some of the symptoms you were experiencing with perimenopause, but for someone watching right now, list some of those out for me.
So there's over 25 symptoms of perimenopause, and it's everything from that weight gain, sleep problems, newfound anxiety. You can actually have new odors, our hair's falling out more shedding. A really interesting one that women don't know a lot, they start going to physical therapy because they have a frozen shoulder that can actually have to do with hormones. So when you read about it, first I'm like, it's everything less of growing horns. What else what else could there possibly be? But then when you realize that your body every cell in your body is being affected, then it makes sense if your hormones are off, why it affects so much of our everyday life.
So I guess my first question would be, what do you do? You know, once you're feeling these symptoms, you're around that age range, where do you start?
So I always say I'm here to give information, but it is a personal journey of what feels right to you. But you can get tested, but in perimenopause, symptoms fluctuate so much. So really it is symptoms based. So we have quizzes, we have symptoms trackers, we have a whole bunch of tools to help you get set up and get going. We also do offer testing, but really when you start to feel those symptoms, it's time to check into some other resources to help you.
All right, so if someone's watching right now, they want to get in contact with you, learn a little bit more, how can they do that?
RadiateWellnessProducts.com. There's also code Radiate10 for 10% off for anyone listening. So
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was great talking to you.
Thanks so much for having me.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by Radiate Wellness.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
We have quite a treat today on Living Local Carolina. I am joined in studio by Salty Dog Senior Dog Rescue. How are you guys doing?
We're awesome. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So obviously we have a very esteemed guest over here, Otis, who's sitting on the couch with us. But why don't y'all tell me first a little bit about what you do and the whole purpose behind your mission?
Sure, absolutely. We are a senior-based rescue. We only take dogs 6 and older. We get dogs from owner surrender as well as from shelters. We started in May of 22, and we are a 501c3. We are totally operated by volunteers, located in Pawleys Island, but we have fosters as far north as Little River and as far south as Charleston. And then we adopt out animals out of state. We've had people come 4-6 hours just to adopt some of our senior dogs.
Okay, so senior dogs, obviously there's a specific purpose why.
My partner and I both started working in animal rescue years ago, and we noticed that the senior dogs come in and they kind of get overlooked. People are looking for puppies or younger dogs, and most of these dogs have already been in a home, so they are surrendered or dropped off at a shelter, and then they just are there kind of overwhelmed, never been in that type of environment before. So we just felt a need to come and draw those dogs out, put them in a foster home as opposed to a shelter, and then focus more attention on them so that they get adopted.
You're closing that gap for dogs like Otis.
Yes. We enjoy what we do. We also, another thing that is important to us is estate planning. We really feel like people need to focus on what's going to happen to their animals should something happen to them. Too many people assume that family or friends are going to take their dog, and actually cats as well, and then what happens is they get dropped off at a shelter instead.
Well, honestly, I feel like I need to give quite the introduction here because I'm with Quadre and you have many titles.
Yes.
And you've already been on the show as an artist, you're an entrepreneur, you're an author, and today you're a juiceologist.
Juiceologist.
Do you ever, sleep?
I do sleep, but at the same time, I gotta make sure I gotta, get the work done.
Yeah, he gets the work done. So why are you here today?
So I'm here today to introduce my new juicing book, and so we could actually create and make our own juice today.
I love it. And you wrote this cookbook with all your different juice recipes, but really you can kind of customize to your taste, to what you need. What do we have today?
So today we have one of our favorite juices that I like to make. It's called my Orangeade Power Juice. So we have green apples, we have oranges, we have carrots, and then we also have my favorite thing, ginger.
I love ginger.
Yes.
It's the best. All right, let's get to work.
Let's go.
Well, now we have everything chopped up and ready to go into the juicer. How does this work? I've actually never juiced anything before.
Okay, so this is what you do. So once everything is chopped up and ready, all you do is come over here to the juicer. You gotta make sure you have a plastic bag in the back compartment for where the rest of the things come. Yeah, so it doesn't fly everywhere, so it'll catch it for you. And then there's just a little knob. So there's low speed and high speed. Usually when I juice, I do it on high speed because every fruit has a different type of texture. So like the carrots are a little bit more thicker and harder than the apples and oranges.
Gotcha.
So once you flip the switch just like this, high speed.
It's about to get loud in here,
It's gonna
folks.
get real loud. So once I flip it back on high speed, I'm gonna pull this out. This is the presser. You're gonna drop the fruit down into the hole, and then all you're gonna do is just continue to push this down, and the juice will come out right here on the other side in the department.
Beautiful. To juicing to health.
Yes.
I'm not just saying it, that's so good.
Yes, it is.
That is so good.
It is.
Well, where can people find your cookbook?
You can find my cookbook online at www.gullah-geechee-family-foundation.com. Also on Amazon.com, you can make a purchase.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everybody. Today I am joined by Matt, who is a producer amongst a ton of other titles. So how are you doing?
I am great. I'm great. It's good to be here.
How did you figure out that this was what you wanted to do?
Music was always what I wanted to do, even when I didn't know that I loved music. I actually grew up as from when I was in kindergarten. I wanted to be an artist, draw. I love illustrations. For all my anime heads out there, I loved illustrations. So from there until actually high school, my junior year in high school, I actually had an art class. And the art class my last semester of art that I took in high school was a class that they made up for me because they didn't have any more classes. I just took the highest art class I could take. And so the next level was college, but I wasn't old enough to be in college yet to take college courses. And so they were like, after that last class, it was like, look, I'm with my guidance counselor, and she's like, you don't have any more, we got to take something else for an elective. And so the question was literally, the option was choir or basket weaving. And so, right. So,
Thanks.
So I was like, I'll take choir. And so from there, I just found out and realized that, man, I'd always been singing. I always loved music. That was always, I would go home. If I wasn't drawing, I was listening to music, listening to the radio, And so that really, really became an eye opener for me. And then from there, it just evolved and evolved and evolved into where I became a producer. I had a singing group, and it was a cappella group, and we were singing around, and we couldn't find studios that would actually be able to record us, because it was about 4 or 5 of us singing a cappella harmony, and they just didn't know how to. The engineers just didn't know how to record us, and so we started me and the group and the management team around us just started. Somebody had a mixing console. Somebody else had a microphone, and somebody else had this, somebody else that. And we're like, let's put it all together until we could find the studio. I remember a conversation we were having I was having with the management company. I'm the mouth of the group. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for, now mind you, I wasn't paying for anything, but we're tired of, I was doing nothing but just singing and writing. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for studios and paying for recordings, and nobody knows what they're doing. Like we can do bad recordings on our own. You know what I mean? For free. That's easy. That's it. And literally when I said it, everybody was quiet for what seemed like an hour, but it's probably 5 seconds. And they're like, you know what? Well, let's just put some stuff together until we can find one that, that'll work for you, Matt. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so from there, I just kind of fell into, telling people I want to hear this, I want to hear that. And then finally the guy who actually taught me how to engineer, he was like, you know what? I'm tired of you telling me what to do. You do it. And literally that was my training. And so I just fell into engineering just like that.
There you go. I love stories like that, though. Obviously you were a very creative person. You had, so many different hands and thoughts, but that's so cool.
I've traveled over hills, swam the widest seas to find someone like you to love me, There's nothing I can do. You're always on my mind. If there's There's only 3 words I can tell you. I tell you 1,000 times, 1,000 times that I dreamed of you.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.